Hey everybody, it's Pat and welcome to another quickie, the videos where I still talk a lot but it's far more straightforward and to the point. Today I want to take a look at my pedal board and more specifically my wet-dry setup. If you're interested in knowing more about my pedals, my rig, my amps and my guitars and everything, I just released a video where I show every single pedal. I also play a couple examples, link in the description if you want to watch that. So my pedals sit on a Pedal Train 1 and everything is powered by a Voodoo Lab Pedal Power 2. So my guitars go into the Korg Pitch Black, which then goes into the EHX Pitchfork. I have the blend at 100. I have it set at a minor second up, and when I hit the toggle switch, it stays on. So from that point, we go to the EHX Pog. I still have the dry at 100%, sub-octave at 10 o'clock, octave up at about 9 or 10 o'clock. Out of the Pog, we then go into the EHX Octavix. I have it set up at 24 volts, octave up all the way, volume at about 2 o'clock, and boost at about 10 o'clock. Out of this bad boy, we then go into the Phase 90. The Phase 90 is starved, so I'm not giving it the whole 9 volts. On the Pedal Power 2 by Voodoo Lab, you have a setting where you can starve 2 outputs, and that's what I do with this guy. You can see that the LED doesn't light up as much. That means there's a little bit less power going into it. Out of the Phase 90, we then go into the Homebrew Electronics Power Screamer. It's got an on-off and a 10 dB boost. Tone switch, 3-way connector. I have that set at 2 o'clock all the way. Out of this guy, we then go into the Turnip Greens, which is a soul food and a holy grail combined. We go into the input. Love this pedal. It's amazing. You can see the settings right here. I use this with my baritone a lot more than I do with my Fender Pawnshop 72. This is where it gets interesting. From that point, instead of going out, we go to send, and we go into the Radial Big Shot ABY. So this guy goes right here, right under, and into the input. Then we go out to a Vox AC15. That is my dry sound. So everything you've heard before that is my dry sound. There's no reverb, there's no delay, none of that. When I play that, only distortion and phaser comes through that. So output A, this goes to a Vox AC15. Output B then goes into my Boss DD3. This is my short setting, and this is my long settings. Out of the DD3, we then go into the return input of the Turnip Greens, so the Holy Grail Max side, the reverb. I have it set on play at about 11 o'clock, and then that goes into my Vox AC30. That is my wet sound. So what does it mean to have a wet-dry setup? Well, basically, I'm using 2 amps, one which is dedicated for a dry signal, and the other one wet. By wet, we mean reverb and delay added, and any kind of funky effects that you want to add to that amp. Everything that I play always comes through both of the amps, but there is one that doesn't have any reverb, any delay, and that is dedicated to having all that punch and that distortion sound and that attack. Then the other amp, the wet one, still has all of that, but with the layers of delay and reverb on top of that. And switch. It's really important that you get a pedal that can handle that can give you a wet-dry signal, and that can also isolate one of your signals, and that can flip the phase if needed. Let me explain. Now, it's highly possible that when you play with 2 amps, your speakers will be out of phase. Flipping this button right here will make sure that your speakers are in phase and pushing and pulling together. It's also important that one of your signals goes directly to ground, and that is why you have an isolation switch right here. And switch. Now, you don't absolutely have to own this exact pedal to do that. Another option that comes to mind is the Gig Rig Humdinger. In the meantime, this is what I'm using. The reason why I have this one is because it's passive. It doesn't require any power. I don't have to give up any of my 8 available power outlets to use this guy. So there you go, just a quick rundown of my whole pedal board and more specifically how my wet-dry setup is wired. Before I do the outro, I have to thank Dan and Mick from That Pedal Show who, through their amazing videos, have taught me how to do this. Without you guys, there's so much I wouldn't know about guitars, amps, and pedals, specifically how to wire up a wet-dry setup and also make cool pedal videos with a top-view GoPro, so thank you for that. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please leave a like on your way out. Let me know what you think about my setup in the comments below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know. Otherwise, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. The joys of making videos in your jam spot.